Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Yiddish Masimi Merosirus Bas Mordechai. Oy Simen Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Simen Toivo. Yeah, Lonu Lechoyisavo. Simen Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Simen Toivo. Yeah, Lonu Lechoyisavo. Simen Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Mazel Toivo, Simen Toivo. Yeah, Lonu Lechoyisavo. Get off. Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, yeah, Lanu Lechoyisavo. La 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 Rabbi Yossi, Klein's son Shmili got engaged. Listen to this, Rabbi Yossi, listen to this. This is not a joke. Everything's been a shamayim. The girl lives here in Eretz Yisrael. Her father is the Rosh Koilel of a dafyomi koilel. And she lives only a few buildings away from our Beitar location, where the guys get together every night and learn the daf at 9 o'clock. It's mamish min hashamayim. Here we go. Rabbi Yossi Klein and engagement of some Mazel Tov Shmili to the daughter of Rabbi Moshe Goldstein. I went there last night. The guy's a tzaddik of a yid, like a Yer Shamayim, a Eidela. Mama, you did unbelievable over there. Unbelievable. In via Geffen, vim via Geffen. The Oilam is invited Thursday evening, tonight, between 7 and 10 p.m., exactly during the Hebrew Shir. Beis Yaakov HaChasidi Hall, Rehov Chabad 21, Beitar. Unbelievable. The Ganza Oilam is really invited. And one of the biggest nisim for MDY, Chassan is here in Eretz Yisrael. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. In Yeshiva, we learned so many different Masechtas. Baba Kama, Baba Metzia, Baba Basra, Sukkah, Kiddushin, Makis. But have you learned Kachim? Now is your chance to join Daf Yomi and learn Seder Kachim. We're starting from Zvachim, moving on to Menachas. We're going to learn Chulin and all the beautiful Masechtas of Kachim. It's your chance to grab and be part of such a beautiful piece of Shas. Join us and you'll change your life for the better. Masechtas Zvachim starting now. This Tuesday, coming up, it's coming up. 22 locations in Eretz Yisrael, 22 locations, unbelievable. And America is catching up now. We're working on it. 2 new locations starting this Tuesday in Los Angeles, which is going to be the same time as here. Live share. They're going to go live over there at 9 p.m. as we are live here at 7:10, 9:10 over there. And there's other places as well. We shall announce all the new places. Here we go. There's a raffle for Chazara. Rabbi Isai Chazara. It's not so hard. Take it upon yourself. Learn another daf. Every daf is another entry. Mordechai Frank from Borough Park, $1,000. Anyway, Northern New York, New Jersey, Achtasia, Monsey, and Rockland areas, and Kiryas Yoel, Teaneck, Bergenfield, Englewood, and Fairlawn. Come one, come all. RSVP. MDY Monsey, Northern New Jersey, and Kiryas Yoel, invited to celebrate CEO. Is that the same thing? I don't know. Maybe. MDYCM.com, CM in celebration, where all New York City, Brooklyn, 5 towns and beyond, Tri-State and beyond.
Thank you everyone for coming to celebrate my Siyam on Masechta Avodah Zarah. This is my first personal Siyam on Masechta of Gemara, and your presence enhances my simcha. A special thank you to Baventi for creating MDY, America's Daf Yomi. I enjoy learning.
So this kid, Aaron, I don't know his last name, just got it from my brother today. He made his very first Siyam with MDY, so tremendous. Mazel Tov. Moti Belsky's brother, Zevi Belsky, sat here a bunch of times. Sheer Market. He's making his very first Siyum Hashas today. So Mazel Tov Zevi, Mazel Tov Zevi. Noam keeps on learning with a lot of asmada, doesn't miss a shir. Mekayim belechtacha baderech.
No, you came back. It's not classic.
He finished Masechtas Avodah Zarah, and he's planning on making a Siyum in Horayos. He wants to be part of the Siyum. So I'm going to say again, We made the siyum on Avodah Zarah and Seder Nezikin in the hotel, where Yehonatan Eitan was our Messiah. He did the Hadron. He's with us, I believe, on Zoom now. Shamshi said he's on Zoom from the hospital. We're wishing him a refuah shlema. If you see him on there. Barry Siegel. I received a number of them. I'm not going to go through all of them. I have the schus of sitting next to Dr. Levitin, who was at the Shabbos. I truly love attending MDY and Treasury each year. We made Aliyah in 2023 and chose RBSA, Revivimir, to be close to MDY. In the local brokers, they're right. Next to MDY. I was speaking to a broker the other day. He was in my house, and he shows me on his phone that a guy just reached out and he says, "Do you have any property next to MDY?" You're shaking your head. What? It goes for more money. Sure.
How much more?
You want to sell? You want to sell?
You get my kind of nervous.
Barry Siegel. You should Barry Siegel. Somebody. I would like to explain the reason for my wife and I didn't have Shabbat because our daughter was due day close to Shabbat and Baruch Hashem, she gave birth to a healthy, cute grandgirl. We're helping the family, watching their older siblings. Many, many thanks. I know, I see him. So, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. What is this? Oh, this is last night at the, I went straight from the shir and I didn't have my hat with me. What a bazillion. Going to Hasidic house like that. I apologize. Somebody said this to me, it has nothing to do with the shir, but I remember it was one of the highlights of all shirim. I was in the middle of giving a shir. It looks like a fake picture in the background, but it's real. We had a water hole. I was on a safari. We had this little place, the entire place by ourselves, and they had a water hole there. And I was giving shir, hoping to see an animal. Day by day, the animals came right before shir, and they came right when I finished shir, they showed up. And this is the first time they're not having an animal, a rhinoceros, which is very rare. Let me zoom in on him. Those of you know, rhinoceros, and he mamish just feet away from where I'm giving it. And I was over on the famous Gemara, Kalaroya Ilana, in the middle of learning. I was like, rhinoceros! Anyway. Somebody sent, I don't know why somebody sent it to me. Rabbi said, listen to this. A new sheer satellite watch location. This is without our graphics. We're trying hard. Mark Ashkenazi is on it. But listen to this. New sheer satellite location. We got to be mechazik these places. If you live next to these places, go there even though you don't want to go there. Go there to be mechazik because it's the future. I'm telling you, it's the future of MDY. All these locations. It's where you get together and you have a chaverschaft and you feel connected to other people. In Bergenfield, New Jersey, come learn the daf with the local chaver starting tonight. Beis Medrash of Bergenfield. They're not starting on Zvachim. They're starting tonight. Every Thursday night. Mayev at 8:30. Sheer watch downstairs at 8:45.
That's how you started. You started Thursday.
Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Thursday nights. Huh? Yeah, where's Eitan? Could you get Eitan on here? You don't see him. See if you can see him. Eitan, if you're on, wave your hand. Everybody else, put your hands down. Are you Eitan? Why are you waving your hand? You're not Eitan. I know. I can see 6 of them going like this. Rabbi David, I don't know where you are, but your son saw you. Put your hand down. Now where's Eitan? The Masechta sponsors, David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meir, Shmuel Baruch, Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi, Zechor Levracha. Masechta sponsor anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruch Nitzvi Gashmi Zechus Achin Bnei Yisrael. Eitan, if you're on and your video camera is off, don't be embarrassed. We like the gowns, we like the whole hospital thing. Get on. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Kyle sponsors monthly, anonymous from London, Hatzlacha in business. Weekly, anonymous is Chud for Shlema for Shlomo ben Yamin, Alevi ben Rivka. No better way to ask for Baruch Hashem. Multi sponsors TCS Israel Power by Talk Save. Anonymous. Refor Shlema Sarah Bat Motoram and Shir Bat Sarah. Aaron Kessler, anonymous, the marriage of my son and my daughter. 2 tremendous schusim. And today to make a simcha is a big thing. Am I relocating to Eden Gardens in Orlando, Florida? Anonymous from London. Hatzlacha beParnosa. Daily sponsors Innovations. In honor of Reb Yossi Klein, on the simcha of his son becoming a chassan, Hashem should continue to repay you 1,000-fold for all that you do for MDY. Amen. Mordechai Sabazing, Mazel Tov, Reb Yossi Klein and his Rebbitzin, under his son becoming a chassan, Simchas and Achas. Peter Merker, memory of Samuel Merker, Yeshua ben Yaakov Ariel on his 53rd yard side. The neshama should have an aliyah. Daniel Kahan, I think something like that, in honor of Chayel and my Eshet Chayel Kala, Daniela. What a name. Danielle and Daniela. on their 19th anniversary, on our 19th anniversary. A shidduch mamish. That's a. What could their last name could have been better? Danielson. Wow. Daniel and Daniela. Hamesifta Retention Group. Mazel Tov. Moshe and Siri Kraus and Shmili's Bar Mitzvah and family that inspired so many to MDY. What's Hamesifta Retention Group? Do we know what that is? It's a retention group.
Remembers.
Very good. I like that.
Why Langzim? L'schus Shlomo Aryeh ben Malka Rivka le'muledes v'atzlocho liYeshua amen. MET Consortium in honor of our Ish Choshuv, the pun master extraordinaire for all he has to Reb Eli's Shir. The Punovitcher. The Punovitcher of.
My father's called that already.
Is that you? I don't know. Maybe it might be Noam. And Leilu Nishmas, my wife's grandfather, Yoel ben Shimon Tuvia Kretman, Olav Shalom. The MDY Yard, monthly Refuah Shlema for Yonatan Eitan, Ben Basheva Bracha, Refuah Shlema Mordechai ben Esther, Refuah Hayela Daniel Zeb ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi say, what a daf. If you waited of all Horayos, or maybe even all of Shas, to get to today's big Yossi in Yiddishkeit, this could actually increase your mitzvahs by 400 times, by 1,000 times. You could walk up there in Shemayim, because of this one shir, to 1,000 times more Gan Eden. Think about it. Yes. Yeah, be'emes. Zoktei Legi Mishnah. So here's the question. What do you think? We need to go through. We have three cases. If a Kohen Gadol, when he's a Kohen Gadol, he doesn't have Veira B'shoigig after he already ruled that it's B'shoigig, he brings a par. What happens if he's no longer a Kohen Gadol? They removed him. And he doesn't have Veira afterwards. Does he bring a par? He's no longer the Kohen Gadol. Another question. What happens if he wasn't a Kohen Gadol and he became a Kohen Gadol? And when he wasn't a Kohen Gadol, he didn't have Veira, then he became a Kohen Gadol. Does he bring a par? What happens if he's a king? Same thing for a king. He's a king, he became no king. He wasn't the king, then he became a king. Or he didn't have Veira while he was a king and while he's a Kohen Gadol, and then he was removed. What does he bring then? That one is simple, l'chayra. If he didn't have Veira while he was a king or while he's a Kohen Gadol, and then he's no longer a king, l'chayra, he should bring the par or the sar. So says the Mishnah, and we're going to get into some serious agadah today, Baruch Hashem. If he was a Kohen Gadol that sinned, but then afterwards they removed him. Why did they remove him? He developed, let's say, a mum. He can no longer perform the kuhuna. The king. Let's say he got some tzaras, like David HaMelech, he couldn't be a king for 6 months. So they moved him off. Kohen Mashiach may be par. So the Kohen Gadol continues to bring what he was supposed to bring when he did the Aveira. Vanasi may be sar, and the king brings what he was supposed to bring while he was a king. Just because today he's not a king, that doesn't mean that he doesn't bring what he was supposed to bring when he did the Aveira. When he performed the Aveira, he was supposed to bring this par, this sar, so bring it today. Here's the big one. He's a Kohen Gadol Shemalaychim Kitzaran. We have full table for the guests, mamish, all for you. If you want to take a nap, we have 4 seats, put them together. The Kohen Gadol, who is no longer the Kohen Gadol, after he was a Kohen Gadol for 25 years, and then he's on retirement, and then he sinned. And the same thing with the king. Kohen Mashiach may be par. The Kohen Gadol brings a bull. Big chiddush. The bull of as if he was a Kohen Gadol, even though he's not a Kohen Gadol anymore. But the king, we treat him like a commoner, and he brings the chatos. Rabbi, I just want to pause it for a second because a terrible thing happened to Klein Yisrael. I saw my wife crying last night, and I'm sure millions of people are crying. Charlie Kirk was killed yesterday, and the reason I'm bringing him up because I believe he's Mechasidei Umas Ha'olam. He stuck up for Yidden She'en Kemayu. He stuck up for Eretz Yisrael. He stuck up for the truth. And if we live in a generation where people are getting killed because they love Jews, it's a terrible thing for Klal Yisrael, and we need to do tshuva. it's not the first time somebody, it's crazy that they're killing people and they're assassination attempts one after another, and in front of the embassy, and it's noirvayim, and it's not a good time. It's really not a good time for Klal Yisrael, and I really believe he's from the righteous of the nations, this person. Be'emes. So we have to do tshuva. We have a chashuv, I don't know if I should say b'zach hazeh, but I do want to mention again, I got a lot of very, very positive feedback, and this is one of the babies of Yossi Klein. It's a beautiful thing. I learn with it every day because I'm going through to see what we could do better, and the Irani family edition. The Iranis, I don't want to say his first name because he's Nechbel Kalim, he wants to be, but the Mishpachas, the Irani family, they sponsored this, and really, people are loving it because there are no notes on the bottom. The whole pshat is in one shot, and we have the Nakudis on this side. You have the QR code, people like that. You go straight into the shir, straight into the charts. There's a lot of milos. I'll give you a mashal. When it says Minohani Mili in the Gemara, it says Minohani Mili. I'm not comparing it to other styles. In our style, Minohani Mili, it says, how do I know this, and that? Not just, how do I know it? Sometimes the literal translation, how do I know it? What am I looking for? Oh, I have to look over here in the bottom. It's in the top. It's in the pshat. The back and forth. Anytime there's a havmin maskana, toshma. What was the question? Very easy to read. So yishkoch the Irani family, and yishkoch to Yossi for putting in tremendous amount of koiches and spearheading it and saying he said I'm sponsoring it myself. I don't care. I'm doing this. Be'emes. Not joking. All right. Zok the Gemara. Oh, there's even some charts in the back. There's going to be more. Starting out. It's your Gemara. You can do whatever you want. Here, chart, Zachen. Okay. Says the Gemara. Hashli Yishloimar Ovar Mishuchus. The Gemara asks a Bam Kasha. If a Kohen Gadol who's no longer the Kohen Gadol, think about it. Think of Rabbi Yossi. Think logically. Without Gemara, sometimes it gets, it's a Kasha. Logic. If a Kohen Gadol used to be a Kohen Gadol last year and he's not a Kohen Gadol anymore, and he doesn't have Veira, what kind of carbon does he have to bring? That of a Kohen Gadol. He's not even a Kohen Gadol anymore and he didn't have Veira. He has to bring. So if he was a Kohen Gadol and he didn't have Veira and they removed him, what carbon does he have to bring? Of course he has to bring the carbon of a Kohen Gadol. He's not even a Kohen Gadol anymore and he has to bring for the rest of his life he has to bring a Kohen Gadol carbon. It's like a president, yeah? He's no longer the president, but he walks around with Secret Service. They call him Mr. President. He's a Kohen Gadol, he's a Kohen Gadol for life. And if he's no longer the Kohen Gadol and he sinned, he has to bring the carbon of a Kohen Gadol. So of course, if he was the Kohen Gadol and he sinned while he was a Kohen Gadol, and then they removed him, of course he has to bring that carbon. What's the chiddush? If he's no longer the Kohen Gadol, he has to bring a cow. The bull. So if he sinned while he's a Kohen Gadol and then they removed him because he got a mom, so of course you have to tell me such a thing in the Mishnah. There's two cases in the Mishnah. You're right, says the Gemara. Yes, but a king is different. A king when he's no longer a king. Yeah, it reminds me. I don't even want to mention his name, but one of the prime ministers here in Israel. They said at his funeral just recently, in the last 5-10 years, I don't remember when he died. He's in a coma for a long time, maybe. 200 people at his funeral. That's it. King, shine. Next. I'm saying, when I was by Rebbe Vadi Yosef's Levaya, over 1 million people. 1 million people. All the Gdoilim. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not Chas V'Shalom. A lot of the kings were Gdoili Oilam. But I'm saying the king, he's no longer the king. So that's why the Mishnah must say it, to compare. Because the king, if he's no longer the king, he brings a regular chatos. So that's why I have to tell you about the Kohen Gadol, maybe par. That's why I have to tell you the chiddush that Kohen Gadol brings the bull. How do I know? Oh. How do I know what? No, what does it say over there? Read for me.
Where are these matters derived?
Oh, very good. What matters? How do you know that a Kohen Gadol that is no longer the Kohen Gadol, and then he sinned afterwards? Then he brings a par. We have a pasuk. What does it say in the pasuk? Here. he sinned. Lashazah, asher chata, he sinned. It says that he sinned twice in the same pasuk. V'hikri v'achatase, fine, he should bring a carbon because he sinned. But why does it say yechta asher chata? Bilamei, to teach us, shemei v'chatase mishavar. Teaches us that he brings a carbon after he was removed already. That if he after he was removed, he sinned, he has to bring a carbon. Now, the Gemara, this is a little tricky. Shiyachav aloy dinu. What does that mean? Why do I need a pasuk? I can learn it from logic. That's the Gemara's question. Why do I need v'ikr v'achatas? I can learn from logic. What's the logic? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this a few times, and it's very simple. What is the difference between a nasi and a what? No. I would learn like that, but without a pasuk. Without a pasuk. Why do I need a pasuk? The difference between a nasi and a kohen gadol is the helam davar part. A kohen gadol, when he sins, he has to paskin first. A nasi not. A nasi, a king, he brings a carbon easy. Just as a shoygig without a helam davar, just as a shoygig, he has to bring a carbon yet. He doesn't bring a carbon once he was removed, Mashiach. Sorry, you know what? You're right. No, at this point, I don't think we're holding there yet. Mashiach, maybe b'shigas ma'isa. Kohen gadol, yeah, you're right. Kohen gadol that doesn't bring a carbon for a shoygig, unless he paskin first, im shigas ma'isa, like Holtzkein. So certainly he should be like the nasi. Like a hedyot, he shouldn't bring a special carbon. He should bring a chatas. I confused it with the next Gemara. So now we have a pasuk that says that he does bring his own the power like a kohen gadol. Now, the Gemara asks, but if we already decided now, we just proved that a kohen gadol brings his own. He brings a power, not like everybody else. So let's say the same thing by a king. So a king should also bring a special, the sire. A kohen gadol doesn't bring a carbon when he does a shaygi. He has to have helam davar. But he brings a carbon, a special par, even though he's removed from the kohen gadol. So a king that does bring a carbon shaygi, in addition, once you remove him, he should bring the sire. That's why we have a pasuk. No. He only brings when, based on where he is at that time, and now he's a commoner, so he brings a common carbon. Says the Mishnah. If the Nasi and the Kohen Gadol sinned before they became, when they were younger, they were teenagers, then they made a sin. Happens a lot. You see somebody, you tell him, what are you doing? He says, a guy that doesn't go to Daf Yomi doesn't know that this and this is Bayer, this and this is, I don't know what, Muktzah, who knows what. You tell people, they say, really? You're not allowed to do that? Yeah, no, you're allowed. Oh, didn't know. They were young. They didn't know. Later on, when he became a Kohen Gadol, became a king, he realized that what he did 10 years ago was an Aveira. He brings a card. They both bring a carbon like a hedyot, a carbon shagi. Because when they did the Aveira, they were hedyotas. Comes Reb Shimon and says, no. Reb Shimon Oimer, this is really what's going to trigger the whole sugya, this beautiful idea. It starts over here. If they knew about it before they became kings, then they have to bring a korban chatos. But once they found out after, then they're pater. What does a nasi mean? A lot of people ask, why do I say nasi? Nasi could mean the head of a shevet. Why does it mean a king? Zeh melech. It means it's a king. Shenemar mikol mitzvahs Hashem elikav. Sheina gabav Hashem elikav. He's the highest in the nation. He's the top guy, top person. The only one above him is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do you know that if they sinned before they became a kohen gadol and king, they bring a regular common carbon chatos, a se'ira, female goat or sheep? Torah Rabbanim, the Torah Rabbanim. When he's a kohen, he's a Mashiach. When he's a kohen gadol and he sins, then he brings a carbon. Now what happened before? It's a different type of. Before it's a different life. Oh, and now the Gemara says V'aloi dinu. Chayritz a kal v'chomer, and I don't over here. I don't need a pasuk over here. This is where the Gemara says I don't need a pasuk. What? Yeah, but mine is in parentheses. They took it out.
That's why I took it out. Hello, dinner is.
You think that's why they took it out? Right. And before there was a shiyachal, you're saying. Very good. Let's see. Shiyachal v'aladinu, and they didn't take it out. Beautiful. 7 lines from the top says shiyachal v'aladinu. Says Reb Noam Fix, who might have even given this shir back in the day. I don't have Ariel here from then, so I don't know. Could be I wasn't there. V'aladinu. V'aladinu over here means I have a kal v'chomer and I don't need a pasuk. That what? Umanasi shemevi b'shiyas ma'isay mevi lakoymes. A king, again, we're going with the same logic as before. He brings a carbon like a regular person when he does a regular shaygig. Nevertheless, he maybe he doesn't bring a sire. He doesn't bring on something that he did when he was before a king, Mashiach. The Kohen Gadol only brings when he paskins and then does the Aveira, and it didn't. Certainly, Yossi did a whole thing here. I don't, whatever. I didn't have time for it. I'm just going to throw it in here if anybody wants to see it. This is the Kal V'chomer, and this is V'ikra V'chatat. So it's hard. It's slowing down. Mashiach Shei Mevi Elahel Davar M'shigas Ma'aseh, and in the Kal V'chomer, it was my idea to do it, but I don't know if it's a good idea when it comes to Kal V'chomer, unless it's like, it's an easy Kal V'chomer. Shei Mevi Elahel Davar M'shigas Ma'aseh, and eventually Yavi Ala Koydmos. So a Kohen Gadol who doesn't bring stam on a shagi. You have to first paskin, so certainly he shouldn't bring on something that he did when he was younger, before he became a Kohen Gadol. And Memela, I don't need a pasuk. I should learn from the Nasi. Loi. I can't learn from a Nasi. Why? Because they're different. Don't forget that we learned that once a king is removed, he brings a regular carbon. But a Kohen Gadol doesn't bring, so they're different. A Kohen Gadol and a Nasi are different, so you can't learn a Kal V'chomer from them. When a Kohen Gadol is removed from the Kohen Gadol position, he brings the same carbon as he used to bring, a par. And since he's different, maybe he should bring a special par on what he did when he was younger. That's why I need a pasuk. Maybe only when he sinned when he was a Mashiach. Maybe, but what he sinned beforehand, he doesn't bring. And now we're going to say the reverse, same svaras, but backwards on a king. The pasuk says that a king doesn't bring a carbon for what he did before he became a king. We take out the word shiachal. Why do I need a pasuk? I have a Kal V'chomer, my Mashiach. Maybe I'll Rabbi, don't worry about it. We're starting a brand new sugi in 2 seconds with the God the Shen Kemayu. If you don't understand, we have charts here for all those who don't understand. Here we go. You ready? Oh, middle Kal V'chomer. Sorry. A Kohen Gadol brings a carbon. Once he is removed, he still brings a par, but he doesn't bring a special par. He's so powerful that he brings a carbon par after he's no longer a Kohen Gadol. But he doesn't bring anything for when he was a commoner before he became a Kohen Gadol. Nasi, once you remove a king, he doesn't bring the sar. And Yavi, so certainly he shouldn't bring anything on a very did before he became a king. So why do you need a pasuk? I'll tell you why they're different than a Kohen Gadol. What's the difference? There's another difference between a Kohen Gadol and a Nasi. That a Kohen Gadol doesn't bring, when he does a shagig by itself, he brings nothing. If he's a Kohen Gadol and he's b'chal Shabbos b'shagig, he doesn't bring a carbon at all. A Nasi does bring in such a case. The only time a Kohen Gadol brings a carbon shagig is when he does a helam davar, when he passes first. And hoylo maybe b'shigas ma'isa yavalei kaidmais. So since a Nasi, a king, brings a carbon for shagig, maybe he should bring a carbon for when he did an aver when he was younger, before he became a king. No, that's why we need a pasuk shechatav Ariel Nasi. It only applies when he's a king. Not from before he's a king. Turn on. Here we go. I got we can really make a siyum on Horayos right here, but there's a lot of fun gemaras now. It says in the pasuk that the king will sin. I think that Akash Baruch said every king is going to sin. Which is a pella play. What happened to Bchira? What happened to what? Hashem says every king is going to sin. So it says, if. It means if he shall sin, not he will. Doesn't mean he will. It means if he will. Why would I think such a thing? Amri, there is such a thing. I shall give, I will give. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to put tzaras in your house. This is also a classic. Mamash a classic. When you think, oh, you have to call in the contractor, knock down the wall, it's a terrible thing. It's not a terrible thing, it's a beautiful thing. Here. Check this out. This is the future Gemara. We have to remember this. The Gemara says in a second that a shade blows air on the walls and it becomes a tzaras. D9. Huh?
That was other stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I just showed it's a good thing. I showed it's a good thing. All right, but it's a psura. The Tosfos Rosh asked that. The point is that it's going to happen. There's going to be tzaras. Rabbi Shimon Omer prat l'nigi ointzin. That means that it has to come naturally. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does it naturally, not through oinus, like the shade. So akoponim lavoma Rabbi Yehuda b'soira. Rabbi Yehuda says v'nasati neged tzaras. That's going to happen. Yes, it's going to happen that the king is going to sin. Hilkoch. That's why ksivim by the Kohen Gadol says him to teach us that he's not going to sin if he's going to sin. Well, Rabbi Shimon nigi ointzim miloi matamu. Rabbi Shimon says prat nigi ointzim. If the nega tzaras, if the tzaras in the house happen from oinus, it's not matama. Why not? Latanya adam kiyah min adibur veilach. If the tzaras only applies from Matan Torah on. Shalom Aleichem. What if a person's house has a nega tzaras, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the Torah in Har Sinai? Nothing. I don't have to. It was from before. I'm not concerned about it. B'haloi dinu. Gemara says it's a kavachomer. Timei b'zav, timei b'negoyim. So let me just go through Hilchas Ziva for a second. Very important to remember these things. If a person has an emission means it's like it comes from a disease. It's a different color. It's a different something. One time he has a halacha of about carry. 2 times, even if it happened in one day or over 2 days, he's a zav that has to be tar. He has to not see anything for 7 days. Then he becomes tar. If he has 3 re'iyos, one after each other, one could be in 3 different days or in the same day with a break, 1, 2, 3 in the same day, then he's a zav gadol, whatever they call him. What are they called?
Zav gomer.
I don't know. Okay, he's a zav, and he has to bring a carbon at the end. He has the same 7 days, but plus a carbon. I'll go upon him. It says like this, and it's a very severe tumah. He's matama bit what? No, that's by a woman, so I don't know. I don't remember. No, the zav is by 2 also. Zav. Okay. There's 2 reasons and 3 reasons. Okay, so it doesn't have a name. So, just like the Torah says that the zav is matama, if he sits on something, moves something, B'timim b'negoyim also tzaras has a tumah. Mazel min adibur ve'elach. It only applies from Matan Torah and on. After negoyim min adibur ve'elach, why do we need a pasuk? Tzaras should be the same thing. Loi. No, it's not a good raya. Im amarta b'zav shekein ein matama b'oinus. A zav, if he gets a whack, if he whatever it is, he fell. Rashi says different things. He got burnt. He went on a trip. No, he came from a trip. Food, yeah, oinus. There was exterior reasons why he got this disease. Extenuating circumstances. There's no tumah. But when it comes to tsaras, what does it say? Let's read the words. And that's a question on Rabbi Shimon that says, Nigiyoinsim are not metama. Over it says it is metama ba'inus. Tama loyma adam kiya. Min adibur veilach. It's from, okay, but Akoparim, you see this, it's a kasha on Rabbi Shimon who says that nega tsaras is not metama ba'inus, that if you have a, says the Gemara, Rav Omar, no. What he meant is, prat lenige ruchos. The oinus he's talking about is when a shade comes and blows with his mouth on the wall, that's not a tumah. Somebody put a spell on his house and that gave it tzaras. That's not tzaras. But stam oinus yes. If the king sins, but it's not referring to a king who's sick. As the Gemara, I don't understand, because he has a fever, he's not a king anymore. No, probably not. We're talking about Shinstareya. We're talking about a king who has tzaras. That's the sickness. We're talking about Uziah. Uziah wanted to be a kohen. He goes into Beis Hamikdash, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we even have a little video of how it happened. Right over here, beautiful stuff. Check this Beis Hamikdash out. Let's see. We covered the Zvachim. We're trying this out. That's the Mizbeach. Here's the Kohen Gadol with the Ketores. To tell you the truth, I saw it, but I didn't was focusing. Kohen Gadol with Ketores on the Mizbeach Ketores. That's inside the Heichal, the Menorah. And here goes the king with his people. No, I didn't show it. I forgot to show it. Remind me to show it today. Gary, are you able to take this and put it on the other one? On Daf Yomi. Huh? Yeah. Here he's trying to do Ketores, and the Kohen Gadol is yelling at him. Bekitzer, and then he got tzaras. Got tzaras for the rest of his life. This is a true story of Uziah. He died even when he got old. Here, let's see, he's getting older, and he still has tzaras. He was in the house of Chashvi. You say, wow, you like this stuff, huh? It's gewaldic. So he was in the house of freedom. So the Gemara says, he was an Eved, he was a slave. What does a slave mean? I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. I was by Reb Chaim Kanevsky many times, and every time I was there, you waited in a line of, who knows, countless people, 100 people in line, down the staircase, onto Rishbam. I saw with my own eyes many times. I saw a father with a child that has the machla. You see the kid is... Or a guy in front of me, didn't have kids for 30 years. That's Reb Chaim for bracha, doesn't have kids, crying. It's one after another. Imagine sitting there listening to this stuff all day long, all day. My daughter's not this. I have 3 daughters not married. You're a slave to Klal Yisrael. It's hour after hour, day after day with no break. It's a slave. Every Admar, the Belzerov, whoever it is, all these Admarim. That's what it is. They're going in a ship. Ba'adei Reb Gamliel have a pita. Gewaldige story. Reb Gamliel brought bread. Ba'adei Reb Yeshua have a pita v'sulta. Reb Yeshua had bread and flour. Sholem pite. Here, we even have a video of this. I'll read the story while you watch this. Sholem pite de Reb Gamliel. Reb Gamliel's bread finished. Samach hazud de Reb Yeshua. In other words, bread could only last for a certain amount of time. You don't have a refrigerator, you don't have a freezer. So what are you doing? How long can your bread last for? So he was smart, and he brought flour. With flour, I can make new bread. Omar lei. So Reb Gamliel asked Reb Yeshua, we're going on a one-day trip. This is the same question I ask my wife every time we go on a little trip. Rebinson, we're going for 3 hours. Why 6 suitcases of food? Vosepes. Sometimes she brings the toaster oven to plug in the plane. I'm like, what's going on here? The bagels for you, sushi for him. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. We're going on a little trip. What? You have to bring flour and a choich. Check this out. In the sky, you can see there's a comet. Some want to say it's the Halley's Comet that comes every 70 years. Not kidding. Although I don't understand the Halley, because what's going on here is that they used to use they didn't have GPS, so they're watching a star. They take the northern star and they go with it all the way north. once in 70 years, the northern star, it's not the northern star, and it starts moving. And you don't realize that it's moving. Haley's Comet, to me, seems like it would go fast. But okay, you're mechaven. I saw this morning, they say Haley's Comet. He said, Rabbi Shua, he said yesterday, he screamed out, Haley's Comet. But, okay, whatever the pshat is, it's something that's moving in the sky that tricks the captain of the boat. He's following it, but he's following it to the wrong direction.
Your wife is also seeing stars.
Seeing star. You see what's going on? Rabbi said, what we learn from here is a beautiful thing. If you do the daf, you stand in the street and bring more people to daf, people are going to imitate you. If you say puns in the middle of shir, people are going to imitate you. Whatever you do, people imitate. So you might as well do the right thing and be a good inspiration. Shalom Pitin the Rebbe Gamliel Samachas. Oh, so he says, there's a star that's going to trick the once every 70 years. I thought maybe it'll be the 70 years. You're such a smart person, and you have to risk your life to make a little parnasa and go on these ships. Who knows what a wooden ship back in the day in the waves? Why are you asking a question on me? You have two Talmidim. You're not even aware of it. The geniuses, they can tell you what's the volume of the ocean. And they don't have anything to eat. I'm sure every single person in this room knows a multi-millionaire that's the dumbest person on earth. Huh? You don't know? It happened once or twice. Fakir, because it's so dumb, they make the wrong investment. That investment goes crazy. Yeah, you know, this is what shaykhs. So he said, you know what? There's such geniuses. Let me give them a little stella. They'll come. We'll give them a frak. They'll get a job. They didn't want to come. They didn't want the job. See, they came after a little persistence. They came. You thought, why did you come? Srora, you thought that, I want to give you a chashiv job to sit in the Mizrach. I want you to be slaves. Yes, I said it last night. I'll say it again. I'll say it, but not because but I have to preface the guy. Listen to this. It's true. Right. I became a slave to the daf, be'emes, because I can't go to places I want to go. I can't do what I want to do. I can't go to chasnas. My sister's making chasana. On a normal, I would go in a second. Any excuse to go to America, I would go. I used to go once a month. So it's hard, and you have to explain, and they get upset you, and you lose friends, and this and that. A slave, yes. My whole life is around the daf. It hurts for the family. It does. It's a slave. It's a certain mindset. Whatever you're doing, in the middle of the safari, you still. Okay. Ein hachinami. Just I want to tell you this. A guy comes to the city. Benny, I didn't say this last night. Come for this. Listen. Guy comes to say, where's the Rosh HaKol? Where's the Rosh HaKol? Those days they had the guy in charge of the community. How do you say Rosh HaKol in English? Not the president. Not the Paritz. Rosh HaKol, the Jewish Rosh HaKol. So the first guy he asks, the guy says, that jerk, that Meshugana, yeah, he lives, go down the block over there. He gets over there, he goes, that Ganav Shibuganovim. What do you want him for? Okay, he lives over there. The next guy, disgusting, he finally gets to the Rosh HaKol, and he says, let me ask you something. What are you doing? He says, it's hard work. It's really hard work. So why do you do it? He says, because I need the covet. I need the covet of the people. Very good. It just fits right into my avdus. No, my daughter asked me a few times. She said, I don't understand. Why can't you come with us? Why can't you do this? I don't work for myself. I don't make up the rules. Sometimes Fisher calls me in the middle of the day. Like, I can't pick up the phone now. I'm preparing for shir. Shir's into it. I'm out. God, shalom. I would love to schmooze with him for hours. I can't. Right, Fisher? Correct. By the way, I just wanted to tell you, I give a shir at 9 o'clock at night. So from the afternoon until 9, out. After 10:30 is a different story. Yeah. Oh, sponsors. No. He loves saying it. It's Givaldik. This is Chiyus.
Stay in your corner. Oh,
you stepped on his feet. Turning to the daf. Adar Global Specialist International Financial Service Anonymous, Lezech Nishmas, Reb Chaim Ben Elazar, Reb Elazar Ashkenazi Anonymous, and gratitude to Rebelli and MDY for promoting Achdus Yisrael, the Havas Yisrael. Ton Rabban. Asher Nasi Yechta. It's a lotion of Ashri. How do you say Ashri? Praiseworthy. Praiseworthy. It's a beautiful word. Ashri Nasi Yechta. Omer Yochim Mizaki. Asher Nasi Yechta is Miloshan Ashri. Sorry. Asher Nasi Yechta. Omer Yochim Mizaki. Ashri Hador Shanasi Shaloi. Maybe Korban. Imagine you have this king coming. Imagine Queen Elizabeth. I don't know. She's going to bring a korban, please. She's going to say, "I did an aveira." She's going to be mashpil herself. It's a nova. It's to say, I messed up. I did something. Ashri Adar Shenosi Shloi maybe korban shal shigasa. He brings a korban on a shagi. If Nosi Shloi maybe korban sarchat aloymer ma'u hedyoid. If he brings a korban, he's mizgaber on his gaiva. What about the commoner? V'im al shigasa maybe korban sarchat aloymer ma'u doinoi. Certainly on a mazid. Maskil rava b'rei derabba. Elomeata d'chsiv. So you tell me every word Asher is Ashrei. V'ez asher chotam and hakodesh yisham. If you were over on a meila, you use something from the Beis Hamikdash. It's Ashrei. It's praiseworthy. Ubi ben Avat, the famous Rasha Merusha was Chayto Machti. He not only did he sin this one, remember this one? He didn't let Klai Yisrael go up on the La'ila L'Regel. The big thing, we go La'ila L'Regel, see the Rebbeinu and put the guards there. Instead of that, what did he do? Not only did he sin, but he caused others to sin. He put the golden calf over there. It says, Asher Chata, it's Ashrei, it's praiseworthy. No, he's a Rasha. Shani Yochad, the Shani Kra B'Dibure. Check this out, very simple. All the Pesuk in Pasuk Gimel says, Ima Koyin HaMashiach Echta, if he sins. V'im Kol Adas Yisrael, if they sin. All of a sudden it says Asher Nasi Echta. What's Asher? Over here, we could darshan the word Asher as Ashrei. Dorish Rav Nachman Bar Rav Chizda, Ma'idachsiv Yeshev Shenasa La'oretz, Ashrei L'Tzadikim Shemagia Aleim K'Maiser Rishon She'olam Haba, Ba'olam Hazeh. Let's see the Pasuk. It's very important. It says Shlomo HaMelech, Yeshev Shenasa La'oretz, Asher Yesh Tzadikim, the Tzadikim Shemagia Aleim K'Maiser Rishon. The Tzadikim get like the Rishon. Rishon Shemagia Aleim K'Maiser Tzadikim. What's going on? And then he says, what's the end of the Pasuk? Shigam Zehevel. Ashreim letzadikim shemagia aleim k'maiser rishoyim shel olam haba ba'olam hazeh. There are those who get the tsaras, the tzarei shemagia aleim k'maiser rishoyim. They get what the rishoyim get shel olam haba ba'olam hazeh. They get the tsaras of olam haba in this world. A tzaddik gets it. Olam l'rishoyim shemagia aleim k'maiser tzadikim shel olam haba ba'olam hazeh. And the opposite, the rishoyim they get good stuff in this world. What if a tzaddik, Rava was wealthy? I guess he didn't like it so much. What if a tzaddik is wealthy? Like Rebbe is very wealthy, so he has to suffer because he's wealthy? What Hashem hates the person who gets the good in this world and that world, he has to suffer in this world. Praiseworthy is a tzaddik that's able to live a comfortable life in this world like a Rasha. And woe to the Rasha who gets the pain and suffering of the tzaddik in this world. The Rasha shouldn't get the pain and suffering, because then if he gets the pain and suffering in this world, he'll get Olam Haba. It's not good. Rapapa Ravuna, Bereda Yeshua, also the Kamei the Rava, Omerlu, or Kim to Mesech the plan, Mesech the plan.
You won't get all of Haser Oren.
Yeah, but he gets.
From here and there.
Right. Oh, right. But I do think that he won't get any Olam Haba because he got pain in this world. Because the Torah says there's there. Hashem pays in this world, so he doesn't get anything in that world. Okay, but I hear what you're saying. So he asked them, "Did you learn any Masechta? Masechta Plan, Omerlein, the famous Vilna Gaon who told his Talmidim to learn a Masechta Bal Peh inside out, so whenever they go on the way, they could have something to learn." Reb Zalman Volozhin came to him and said, "I learned Masechta Sukkah. I know it inside out." So the Gaon asked him, "So how many sukkahs are kosher in the whole Masechta? How many sukkahs are possible?" And didn't know. So he told him, Keminyan sukkah without a vav and Keminyan sukkah with a vav. Without a vav, Samach Chav is 80, plus Hey is 85. Plus, if you do put a vav in there, it's 91. So 85 are kosher, 91 possible, something like that. Anyway, But to know the whole Masechta means to like a computer, like to literally how many puzzle in one shot, how many times does it say Abaya, Rava, Orale in. They said yes, we know the Masechta well. Yeah, Tier 2 Purta, did you make some money on the side? Orale in, yes, we did. The Zaman Katina Dar, we bought a little real estate. Horayos, he said about the Mashreim Tzadikim Shemagi Alim Kemaiser Rishon Sheboil Mazeh, that the praiseworthy is a tzaddik who gets a little bit of oil mazeh in this world. He has a little real estate. Omer Rabbi Bavachana Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Ma'idachsiv ki sharm darkei Hashem v'tzadikim yelchu bam. The ways of Hashem are straight. V'tzadikim yelchu bam. The tzadikim will go with it. U'poishim yikashlu bam. But the Rishonim are going to stumble on it. This is the famous line. I'm not going to go into it. Yesterday somebody dragged me into it. He's here now. No, he's not here. Left. But this is the famous line that the Noida Yehuda wrote when the whole story of the Hasidim broke out. So he wrote this line, and at the end he stuck in another word. We're not going to get into it. Mashal l'shnei b'nei adam shetzol pischeim. So he says a mashal. The tzaddikim go on the path, and they do well. The Rasha goes in the same path, and he stumbles. What's the mashal? Two people shetzol pischeim. They made a carbon pesach. Echad achal l'shum mitzvah, v'echad achal l'shum achil gasa. One had in mind to do the mitzvah, and one had in mind to be a fresser. Oh, the one who had in mind to eat it for the Shem mitzvah, he's a tzaddik. But the one that was starving, Erev Pesach, you're hungry, oh, finally they say they come. You missed out on the whole thing. You're a Posheya, you're a Russia. Russia Karsle, he's not a Russia. Okay, so he's not the biggest tzaddik. He didn't do the mitzvah properly. Pesach milakach, but at the end of the day he ate a guy that Nebuch, he's suffering eating matzah, but he has a mind because he's hungry. He still ate matzah. Okay, so he didn't do the mashal shnei bnei adam. Another mashal. Person has two women. One is mutter to him, one is asur to him. Two people, same exact situation. One, he did beheter, and one he had a sister be'isr. Look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved him. He's a tzaddik. He was a rasha. Says the Gemara, there's no connection. There's only one option. Over there's two options. There's a wife and a sister. It's two different options. Hello, when we hear the mashal, you understand. This is the mashal to Loit and his two daughters. Rabbi Yossi, and here comes the yisoid of all yisoidus, and this will make you a millionaire in mitzvahs. Mamash. We have one act that actually produced two children. It's one act, the daughter with her father. But they had kavana l'shem mitzvah, that kavana l'shem shamayim. They want to populate the world. They thought the world was over. Tzadikim yelchubam. The Torah calls them tzadikim. Hu sheniskav l'shem aveira, but Loit had the wrong kavanah in the same exact act. It's not two drachim. It's not two paths. It's the same path, but within the same path, this one had kavanah l'shem shamayim, and this one didn't. And he's upoishim mikash l'bam. So Mamela, we have to pause here for a second. When we're learning brachas, we're learning about the chol drachecha da'ehu. And I printed it on a piece of paper, I cut it, and I gave it out. B'chol drachecha da'ehu says, and this is the yisoid of all yisoid, the yisoid so far in this Masechta, I think, that we could take it. It's a practical thing, especially now for Yom Neraim. We all do the same things, but if you just put 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, 3 seconds of thought. So when you go to sleep, the 8 hours of sleep is a mitzvah, because you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to sleep, so I have koyach in the morning to get up and do the daf and to daven. That's all you have to think about. How long does it take to think? And now you just flip that whole thing into a mitzvah. Or you can think to yourself, oh, I'm so tired, I'm just going to sleep, I need a rest. Same thing when you go to business in the morning, you go to work. Every minute of your job could be a mitzvah. You say, I'm doing this, l'shem shamayim, so I could be mefaris my mishpacha, so I could give tzedakah, so I could do things. A mitzvah. Or, no, I'm doing this because I want to be wealthy, I want to make money, I want to be richer than the guy next door. So you just ruined it, just the thought. It's the same exact action, it's just the thought. So Hillel printed these out, and if anybody wants to use it, I know that Leiba, you still have it in your pocket? The original. Let's see. Show me. And here's the upgrade. I don't know if we need so many. Today's one of the weakest attendances in it, but you can give it out. Take one per person, bring the rest over here so you give out the guests. Unbelievable. I just want to point out, I say this all the time, but I'll say it again, that there was the story, here it is, in the Igros Moshe Chelek Ches. He brings the story of Moshe Feinstein, who met a Rav, who in his drasha put down the daughters of light, pass it on, and in his speech he put them down. And they came to him, the Rav says, they came to him in a dream and says, why do you put us down? We did L'Shem Shamayim, and therefore you must die. And the next day he woke up and his tongue was swollen, it started swelling, and he spoke to Moshe about it, and he ended up dying. In other words, you have to be careful with Bnei Light. Yes, they were Mazana, but they did L'Shem Shamayim, as the Gemara right here. The Gemara calls them Tzadikim Yelchim Bam. So, V'dilma, asked the Gemara, how do you know he didn't have in mind for a mitzvah? Loit himself. You see in the pasuk. Vayisaloid, it says Vayisaloid. It also says by Eshes Patifa, Vatisa Eshes Adonai Vasenel. Esainav Loit opened his eyes. He looked at Vayoyim Shimshoi Noisekachli Ki Shor Beino. It's psukim about things that are not the best. Vayar, and he saw Vayar is Shechem Bechamar. The story of Shechem with Dina, not a good thing. Eskol Kikar Yardei. Kibadish Zoinus, Kikar Lechem, the Kikar Lechem, Kikula Mashka, El Chachrim Have noise the Lachmi, May Tzamri Pishdi Shamni Vishikuya, not good things. Ask the Gemara of Amena Sonas, he was drunk, he's Zoinus, Tanam Shum Rabbi Chayni, Lama Nokadal Vav Shebekuma Al Shebechir. Why does it say Vav? Why does it have dots on it? Lama Loch Shebeshich Yoda, Bekuma Yoda. He knew about it afterwards. As the Gemara may have a Leiba, but afterwards it's too late. At the act, when it was he acted, he didn't know. So why is it Rasha? Madahava. I had a guy here, Mamish, 2 days ago, came to me. He told me he was drunk. He says, I need a broch, I need a eitzah. My wife is very upset at me. The problem is not once you're drunk. Okay, you're drunk. The problem is getting drunk. That's what the Gemara said, Mamish here. Once he was drunk and he didn't know it was flying. Okay, so we'll let him off the hook. But why did you drink again after it happened to you on Sunday? Why are you doing it on Monday? I think we have to stop here because it's late. Let's say there. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.